Hello everyone, welcome to another video. I am Ryder of Dinosaurs. Today's video is going to be part 2 of the word masochism, the IT and spellcasting. Yes, we're back on that. As always, and before we get started, a big thank you to all my Patreons. Articus Vincicus, Bella Charge, Cajun Drifter, Clifford Reynolds, Elizabeth Schneider, Fletcher Eiler, Frank Kelly, Clubus Schillers, Janie, Jared, Lee W, Mama Murder, Mr. MP, Patrick Miller, Farorang, Robert Inocencio, Robert Williams, Stringer News 1, Sabasco Sauce, Surf, Ugly German Truth, Ishanti, William Inabnet, Christ Puncher, Conrad Silas. And now for part 2.
Sentences are made up of words. The word sisters in Greek mythology were fates or witches who controlled the fates of man. Every word we say directly affects our reality and ultimately our fate.
And here we go again. You take two words that sound the same, connect them because they sound the same, and come up with a cockamamie theory about that connection.
The Egyptian deity Thoth is said to have invented language and writing. The original purpose was to use words for magic.
Now, if you believe Thoth was real, you must also believe the way he was conceived. According to myth, Thoth was conceived from the semen of Horus, which was accidentally swallowed by Seth during a struggle.
Oh my.
The words rite and rite are pronounced the same. A rite is a ceremony or ritual. Whenever we're writing with words or speak, we're initiating a ritual.
And there you go again. Two words that sound similar, you are now connecting them with nonsensical logic. But this all falls apart as soon as we use another language other than English. Let's use a language I'm familiar with, Spanish. In Spanish, the word write is escribir, and the word write is rito. Now, do they sound similar? Could you make the same connection? Of course not, because all of this is just conspiratorial nonsense.
Books contain chapters. A chapter often refers to a sect of a secret society or religious order.
Ah, the cherry picking. I'd forgotten about that. What about the other meanings you failed to mention, like a main division of a book or a distinctive period in history? The Cambridge Dictionary defines a chapter as any of the separate parts into which a book or a piece of text is divided, usually given a number or a title.
To page someone is to summon them. Pages in books made of words are summoning things to enslave or imprison our souls.
Who hath summoned me to this realm?
Dude, you summoned Satan!
With this one, I got a bit curious, as I can't find the exact same definition he has here. It actually looked like it was scanned from a page and tightly cropped, almost like there's something else after the word them that he didn't want us to see. If any of you is able to find that exact definition, please let me know in the comment section. As for the verb page, the Merriam-Webster dictionary defines it as to summon by repeatedly calling out the name of.
The word grammar comes from the French word grammaire or grimoire.
Looking at the etymology of the word grammar, we can see it does come from the Old French grammaire, but in its turn, it comes from the Latin grammatica, and finally from the Greek gramma. Nowhere in the etymology of this word, the word grimoire comes into place. Now, regarding these definitions he puts on his video, I'm very suspicious that he types them on Word and then screenshots them. The font is very familiar to Trebuchet MS. The reason for this suspicion is that I can't find these definitions as they are in the video anywhere.
I want to mention sounds affect everything around us. The study of cymatics is the study of sound vibration on matter, and it has been demonstrated that vibrations and frequencies create geometric patterns in sand and other mediums.
So there was absolutely nothing for the cymatics bit. Absolutely nothing.
We wake up each morning. A wake is a funeral party held for the dead. At the beginning of each day, we say to each other, "Good morning." Mourning is what you do when you're sad for the loss of someone or something. We begin each day reveling in the mourning of our divine nature, which has been stripped from us, by calling it a good morning. It's pretty masochistic if you ask me.
Actually, the only masochist here is me. I'm the one going through your video watching your ramblings.
We then go to work at our occupation.
Occupation? Of course. Every day I hear people say, "I'm on my way to my occupation," or "I've just arrived from my occupation." Now, who doesn't use that word? You know what he's doing here, right? He's setting up the viewer to his next word connection so it sounds more believable.
When we occupy something, it can mean being occupied by a military force, like in war. Many occupations are focused on money and the dog-eat-dog mentality. The dollar bill comes first before the environment or even each other. Therefore, we are committing war against each other and Mother Earth during each day we work our occupation. We are the military occupiers.
This guy has such a flawed logic that it doesn't make any sense. He actually reminds me of an old South Park episode where the Earth is cancelled as a reality show, and there's this scientist making these similar leaps of logic to arrive to a conclusion. The difference between that scientist and this guy is that the scientist would eventually arrive at the right conclusion, which, as we all can see, doesn't happen with this one.
If they're receiving messages, they might be sending them too. Wait a minute. Candy bars.
Candy bars?
You know, candy bars. They usually come in a wrapper, just like you wrap a Christmas present. Christmas happens when it's cold. Cold, as in Alaska. That's with polar bears. Polar bears. Polarity. I can switch the polarity to see what transmissions are coming from the location this one is being sent to.
An urn is for the ashes of the dead. For the average 9-to-5 worker, it would have to be one of the weekdays in order to earn a living. I agree, you would have to be in a weekdays to earn a living.
What are you talking about?
During the week, we become weaker and weaker until finally it's the weekend, and we have become weakened.
Okay, I'm gonna cut this one short because my mind is already hurting. This guy is very difficult to deal with because it's one after the other and most of them are the same thing. He just takes two words similar to each other in pronunciation and creates a weird connection and it just rambles from there on. I'm not sure I'm going to do a third part on this one. So with that in mind, and to summarize all of this, I leave you, my viewers, with a big apology. And to Mr. Flat Earth Paradise, this is where this video comes from, and he's got 76,000 subscribers. I say this on to you.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. And may God have mercy on your soul.
And this is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on my next video. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell button, like, and don't forget to share. If you wish to support me further, consider buying my merchandise or becoming one of my Patreons.